Alright, y'all, welcome back to week 38 of the message from deep space. Before we start off, let's check last time's stuff here. Respect, love, something. Okay, so that's kind of correct. What else did they give us hypotheses for? Part, piece, component, portion. Okay, I think that works. Part works. Whole, whole, entirety, full thing. Okay. Organ, body part, biological organ. Okay, so that's basically correct. Okay. Sight, light, something, something. Okay. Just change this to light then for now. And then eyeball. Light seer, observer, eye. I guess I could just be eye. Don't need the eyeball part in there. And then this is just see, right? I think we saw like how it was used. Yeah, see, aware, gather input. Okay. Okay, not bad. Already got another new word. You know what we're about to do. So something is a noun, and something is like an average move speed. Okay. So star something moves. Okay, so this is like star speed compared to planet speed. Think about this. What would be the speed of a planet? Because they move. So like, if this is like the Milky Way galaxy, right? Technically, a solar system like here with the stars and the planets is all moving in the same speed, right? Or are they saying, like, if this is the star and this is a planet, are they saying like the rotation of the star versus the rotation of the planet? You know what I mean? I don't know. So let's see. So if they're talking about like on a galactic scale, it would be equals, right? No. Okay. So let's try a planet orbits like faster than a star? No. Okay, so it's this way. So something is a star. A star is higher. Oh man. Okay. Let's go. A, B, C. Whoops. C. A and B and C. They're all adjectives relating to mass. Okay. So A something, B something, C something. Okay, let's think about this. So maybe like small. You already have small. You already have small, really? Smaller. Oh, small, big. Okay. Shoot. So let's say um mini medium and large maybe. Okay. Oh, relating to mass as well. Okay. This is a what equals 0. Okay. Big one here. So mini, medium, or large? Uh. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. I think this is relating to this stuff? No. Like a solid liquid gas? Um, low density. Uh, I don't know. So they're saying this is what? Mini, medium, or large? Let's say mini. I have no sense of scale for this. Okay, we got something weird here. That's a circle. Why is it on the ground now? Okay, let's say medium. Okay. So, is this one gonna be large? Yeah, but this is a gas. Right? Gas, liquid, solid. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Solid, liquid, gas? Maybe not. I feel like they would have. I feel like they would have said. They would have said that's correct, you know? Let's just try gas, but something's off here. Something is off. Okay, so now it's like, cube. Okay. Okay, hollow cube. It's like a box. Okay, a box. Solid. Okay. This is kind of a fun game. Huh? A little solid liquid gas game. That was a graph. We just gotta figure it out. Agreed. But I don't feel like I do have it figured out, to be honest. I think I'm wrong here. But let's see. Solid compound mass and what compound mass? Okay. This is a solid and a gas. Maybe we do have it right. Okay. Got another round of the game. The only problem is if I go to transmission, right? Solid is not less than liquid is not less than gas. Right? Down. Something is the average speed. Average move speed. Or is this like the move speed of the thingies? The move speed of the phases of matter. Temperature, which is the average kinetic moving energy. Aha! So is this temp? Aha! They agree. They agree. They agree. Okay. That's a nice way to sum it up, Dr. Bees. Yeah, so they agree that it's temperature. So let me just put temp. Ah, okay, so that makes sense of why solid, liquid, gas would be in that order then. Go to visual. So it's a solid and a gas and a what? I assume it's going to be a liquid. But we'll let it make the picture and see. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we have a cup filled with liquid with a fart bubble around. Liquid. Okay. Alright, mass is not area. Mass 0. So they're saying these all weigh the same? Okay. Mass 0 is a solid, mass 0 is a liquid, mass 2 is a gas. Yeah, let me read this again. So mass, not E, it's not the same as area. Yeah, that makes sense. Because something smaller can be heavier, right? Okay. So the mass, these are all the same mass. Mass 0 is a solid. Mass 1, liquid. Mass 2 is a gas. Okay. And then they're saying mass 0 is smaller size-wise. Okay. Smaller size-wise than mass 1, which is smaller size-wise than mass 2. That makes sense. So if the mass 4 equals mass 5 and, so we're saying mass 4 equals mass 5, okay, and mass 4 is a gas and mass 5 is a solid, then what? Then mass 5 bigger than mass 4, right? We're talking size. Let's try it. Mass 5 bigger mass 4. No. Okay. Let's try the other way. Mass 4 smaller. That matches kind of their syntax. No. Okay. Because mass 5... Oh, I'm sorry. I had this backwards. Mass 5 is the solid, so mass 4 is bigger. Okay, there we go. Because we're talking about size, right? So a gas like this would be bigger than like one little solid chunk of something here. Okay, that makes sense. We have a compound. We're talking about temperature. So is it greater than or less than? Okay. So gas. All right. So first, let's start with 0, 1, 3. 0, 1. So start from the top. So gas of 26 is what compared to liquid? Water. Water, right? So what is 26? Let's find that out. Ba 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 boom. 6 is iron. So nope. See, I screwed it up already. Compound 2 is carbon dioxide. Okay. The question is carbon dioxide hotter or colder than water? I think it's gotta be hotter, right? Look at uh chemistry, states of matter. All state at low temperatures, low pressures. Water transformed to solid water. Okay. Liquid state at higher temperatures, pressures, low density, high speed with no fixed velocity. In a gas state, even so. Okay. So hypothetically, that means ignoring the specifics. Gas is always hotter than liquid, which is always hotter than a solid. Hypothetically. So in this case, gas or liquid, we're gonna go gas. And then it's liquid or solid, we're gonna go liquid. And then it is liquid or liquid. Ooh. So now it's a little different because now they're saying, is it greater than or less than between two liquids? This is an actual question. So how do we tell the difference in temperature between two liquids? States of matter. Plasma. We don't care about that. Um, Chemical compounds physically orient themselves depending on temperature, pressure. Okay, we know that. Compounds. Ba, 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 ba. How do we tell? And this just might be my own stupidity here. But how do we tell the difference between the temperatures of two liquids? Shouldn't they be the same? Compound 0 versus compound. Because compound 2, carbon dioxide, right? Back. Carbon dioxide is normally a gas. So it would have to cool down to be a liquid. While water, right, H2O, is normally a liquid. So, I guess liquid water would be hotter? That one I'm not sure. Gases. I mean, to make a gas iron, a hell of a lot more gas will. Let's try that. No. Okay. The brain. Because this is. Let me think. Am I just being dumb? The liquid compound 0. We're talking about water. Liquid water. Versus liquid compound 2. Liquid carbon dioxide. Would have to be a lot colder. Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't water. Just two hydrogens. This is... No, that's correct. I'm stupid. H2O. Two hydrogen, one oxygen. Okay. Let me think. Boop, 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 beep, bop, bop. So here we're talking about steam. No, because compound 0 is 1. Gas, compound 2. Carbon dioxide versus liquid compound 1. Liquid iron. In liquid iron, I guess that would be hotter then. Liquid iron would be like super hot iron. Okay. Liquid compound 0, so liquid water. Okay, so we're just talking about water versus ice. Water versus ice. Water's hotter. Okay. Then we have water versus liquid carbon dioxide. So that would be water is hotter, right? You'd have to be like super cooled carbon dioxide to get liquid. Okay. And then liquid water versus liquid iron. Yeah, I mean liquid iron's gotta be hotter. Let's try this. No, what am I missing? Okay, idea available. See what they have to say. Gas, carbon dioxide. Gas, carbon dioxide is colder than liquid iron. Yeah. Gas, carbon dioxide, liquid compound 1. Well, compound 1 is iron. Gas. Yeah, we already have that. Okay. Liquid water is hotter than solid water. We have that. Yeah. Isn't that just ice? Yes. Resuming. Liquid water warmer than liquid carbon dioxide. We have that. Right? Okay. And lastly, gas iron, which is horribly dangerous. Hotter than... Oh. My goodness. See, I keep confusing myself with the numbers. They start counting at 0 and it keeps screwing up. I should just be paying more attention. Because this is gas iron. Holy cow. Gaseous iron. Okay. Try that. Okay. Thank you, Collins. Thank you, Collins, for calling me a dummy. Okay. So, now they're saying the Icarians. Figure that out. The Icarians are what? Gotta be solid. Honk. Okay, something. Oh. Magic is to... Okay. Something is to 8 to the power of 10 times 6 alien years in the past. They're saying like a bazillion years into the past. The test. The current compared to whatever this time is, what? Equals what? It would be next? No. The previous current next, right? So something is like a bagillion years in the past. Is to 8 to the power of 10 times 6 years. Test. Oh, I see. I'm being dumb again. Test is true or false. So the current, they're saying like the current time is the past. That's false. False. Okay. Again, I'm just making it harder than it needs to be. Okay. So 8 times 10, or 8 to the power of 10 times 6. Very long time. I agree, Batista. So I think let's call this, I guess, before times. I don't know. So the before times, a carrier prime's temperature was less than current a carrier prime's temperature. That's just a knowledge one. This is a what equals 0. Okay. So their planet was colder, now it's hotter. Okay. Classic. Oops. Okay, let's go A and B. And their adjectives. A is opposite. A opposite is what? B. Okay, so these are opposites. You know, I always find it funny when we go through all the effort of defining a bunch of words, and then we use them for all of 2 transmissions. Huh? We just did it. We just spent time defining temp and solid and liquid and gas. Then we defined before times, all to say, before times, a carrier prime's temperature was less than current a carrier prime's temperature. Who knows? Those words could come back again. Now we're on to some A and B, whatever the opposites mean. Okay. Okay. I was kind of hoping it would be visual. Okay, so 0.1.25 shape. Okay, let's hit board. 0, 0. Go. 2. I know it's hard to see. There's like little hash marks here. Then. Damn it, I'm doing it again. I keep screwing up the X and the Y for some reason. 0, 2. And then 2, 0. And then 2, 2. 1, 1. 1, 5. They're saying make a shape. 0 to 1 to 0.4. 4 is the A shape. 5 is the E shape. Okay. They're telling us here. Missing. Look at the visual. Maybe this will help us. Boop, 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 boop. Ooh, okay. Cube and a gas. Coordinate count is what? They're saying inside versus outside, maybe. So how many things are inside? 3. Versus outside would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's try outside. 7. Aha. Okay. 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 This inside versus outside. There we go. This. Boom, 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 boom. Like 3 inside. Perfect. So carrier prime is solid and liquid and gas. Yeah, that makes sense. Solid inside. There's water on the outside and gas in the atmosphere. Okay, that makes sense. A carrion is on the crust of the planet. Okay. And a carrion is inside the planet. Interesting. Inside what planet? Or no, okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand. So a carrion is on the outside of the solid planet, and a carrion is on the inside of the gas planet. Okay. They're trying to say they're in between the atmosphere and the ground. Okay. Makes sense. Solid and Friends is back. Looks like it. We're wrong. About what? We defined those words and used them again. Not just those 2 transmissions. You're a brat. No, log end. Alright, carrier prime solid is to mode. So carrier prime is made of mostly iron, it sounds like. Then inside a carrier prime is to mode atom 6 iron. Okay. Grab the door, I'll be right back. Alrighty, sorry, I had to go AFK for a bit there. And funnily enough, looks like not only do we have the nice DVD bubble here, we also have some dialogue that triggered, so let's see what they say. Hackers? Yes. Wait, why is it weird hearing you say my name? Rug. Seriously, that is unfamiliar. You were away for 2 weeks. Oh no, I see what Alan's saying. Huh? You don't say our names much. Yeah, Carrie's right. You always just speak in response to something we say. Huh, sure. But you never acknowledge us directly. Or quite rarely, I suppose. Okay, Dr. Gary Collins and Dr. Alan Akers. Oh, gross. That doesn't sound right. It's like he's speaking in tongues. It sounds forceful when you say our names, okay? You don't have to do that, Batista. No one is forcing you. Noted. Anyway, what'd you want in the first place? You could not find their star. Yeah? Really? What do you mean, really? Yeah, I couldn't find it. Huh. I checked every astronomical catalog on the planet. But their star, relatively speaking, is very small and very dim. And no one on Earth has found it. You don't have every star in the galaxy sitting around a logbook somewhere. Did you check everywhere? Did I check everywhere? You say it like I haven't left my wallet lying around. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss their star on my sofa cushions. That would be surprising. Yeah, it would be. But I would not put it past you. Hey, it's not there either. I'm pretty confident on that. I believe you. You're the astronomer. Goodness. You sure are something, you know that? Did I check everywhere? My goodness, you. Really hit a sore spot there, Batista. Yep. Noted. Okay, so Batista's just straight antagonizing our boy Dr. Hackers over here. Okay. So, a carrier prime liquid is compound 0, which is H2O. Okay. So, they're water-based planet, I guess is what they're saying. Compound 0 is to what and not carbon-based? Let's think about this. Compound 0 is what and not carbon-based? Is the non-carbon-based liquid? Is that what they're looking for? No. They're looking for compound 0 is what and not carbon-based? Hmm. What are they looking for here? looking for. Guess hydrogen based? Says H2O? Maybe? Hydro based. It's pretty long. Is there a better way I can say this? Maybe just organic is better. Makes more sense. Organic. Okay, seems like they like that. Organic, as in organic chemistry, I presume? Yep, okay. And then let's just call this inorganic. Hydro. By hydro. Hydro something. Okay, then we already have a new word over here. So something is a noun. Something is the planet gas outside. Okay. So I'm gonna assume this is atmosphere. Okay. A carrier prime, atmosphere 0, and an Earth what? This must be atmosphere 1. Whoops. Okay. So they're comparing our two atmospheres. Not all planet atmosphere. Okay, they're saying not all planets have atmospheres. Okay. So what equals 0? Classic. We definitely know not all planets have atmospheres. So carry prime atmosphere is an outlier compound or has an outlier compound. So compound 0 is 4 hydrogen and 1 AN6. What was AN6? AN6. So H4C? What is that? Chemistry compounds. So 4 hydrogen and a carbon. What is that? Methane. Ah. Compound 0 is hydrogen and what? The hydro gas? No. The hydro... What did they say last time? Is to what? Is and not organic? They're looking for not organic. No. And organic? Okay. Methane organic? I don't know. A carrier prime atmosphere is approximately half half parts. So it's 50% of what? 2A and 7. And 7. Nitrogen, okay. Nitrogen. A carrier prime atmosphere is big part what? Big part what? A carrier prime atmosphere is to big part what? I get, they're looking for gas? No. They're looking for is to big part what? The cranium. Big part what? that. 2N is nitrogen. Nitrogen. Is it a liquid? It's a gas. We know it's a gas. Is what? Hydro something. This hydro. Hydro. No. I don't think nitrogen organic, right? Is big part what? Big part what? What are they looking for? Element? What element was that? Element 7? Is that what they're looking for? 7. Oh. Ooh, element 7. No. Element. Use the cranium. Use the cranium. Okay. J prime atmosphere is outlier compound 0. Big part what? Not organic. No. Saying here. Is a big part what? If it's half nitrogen, then it's half what? Half part compound. Is that what they want? Just compound 0? Compound 0? Oh, okay. Overthinking it yet again. Okay. So, their atmosphere is 1/8 compound 1. First off, I need a thing in front of part. Part. Where's part? Ready? I must need like a search in my own dictionary here. Oh, here we go. Part and base. Okay, a carrier prime atmosphere is approximately 1/8 part compound 1. which is what did we say that was in our common compounds? Methane. 1/8 methane. Then a carrier prime atmosphere is a small part methane. Then a carrier prime atmosphere is what? Hydroorganic or hydroanic organic. What are they saying? Because it has carbon and hydrogen, are they saying it would be both? Prime atmospheres. Hydro. Okay. It would be both because it's majority non-organic, but it has part organic. Okay. Holy cow. Okay, so they're just saying this is our atmosphere. Is methane, nitrogen, uh, what is this? Carbon dioxide, hydrogen, H2, so water vapor, oxygen, dry hydrogen something? What is this? Chemistry. What does 3 hydrogens and a nitrogen make? 3 hydrogens and a nitrogen. Ammonia. Okay. And it also contains oxygen and 18. Argon. Okay. I mean, I think that's kind of correct compared to our atmosphere, right? Mostly nitrogen and oxygen atmosphere with various other random gases. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so the atmosphere, compound 0 and 1 and blah, 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 blah. These are all what? They're all gases, right? The atmosphere is all gas. Okay. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, I think that means our atmosphere is similar to ours, question mark? Translation team, how are we? Doing great, Doc. Some cool stuff from Mr. Meteorite this week. Alright, then proceed. Started off to finding some helper words, which I normally don't like, but solid, liquid, and gas are actually quite simple and a bit fun. They played a little graph game with us where they would sketch atomic numbers, and we would have to name which phase it is in. Not a game, ensuring our comprehension, that is all. Who says Mr. Meteorite can't do both at once? What was the purpose of these words? Not yet. You wag your finger like Doppler? Yeah, that was really weird. Not my best moment, but let's ignore it and move forward. We still had inside and outside to define, which is what I'm saying. Can't believe we didn't define those earlier. It feels like it should have been transmission 150 kind of thing. We had 3 different time units, but no concept of interiority, or hydro, which seems unimportant. Or white dwarf. I'd be interested but doubtful if we ever see it again. That might be the most useless signal. Hey, you two leave my astronomical terms alone. Back on track, hackers. Right, we defined before times, which is an odd one, but so far, all we've used it to say is before times a carrier prime temperature was less than current carrier prime temperature. So it changed. Huh. For some reason. We then used outside to define atmosphere, which was appealing. There's a great deal you can learn about a planet by its atmosphere. And what did they say about it? By the end of the week, we had a pretty clear picture of its makeup. 4/8 nitrogen gas, a bit less than our 6/8 Then 1/8 methane, which is fascinating. Hold on, did you say 1/8? That's true. That's a crap ton of methane, because isn't it flammable? Like one spark, your whole. I don't know. Right, you see what I'm thinking. Methane is incredible at absorbing long-wave radiation, which means it traps heat exceptionally well. Oh, so it's really good greenhouse gas. Maybe that's why their planet heated up. Which means, oh, I see. Oh my gosh, look at this guy jumping. What is it? How's he doing that? Before times at carrier prime temperature was less than current at carrier prime temperature. Their atmosphere's exceptionally high proportion of methane may have played a major part in shaping the conditions of their current at carrier prime. We know the cause of all the methane? Not yet. And just if you were curious, stop, as I know you always are, the list is some of the other major compounds that form their atmosphere. Carbon dioxide, hydrogen gas, water vapor, ammonia, argon, and ozone. Hydrogen gas stands out. That's not particularly stable, which means it's somehow being replenished. Did you say ozone? That is really insightful. Sorry, why is this so exciting? Ozone is compound 3AN8. So 3 oxygen, okay? Oxygen gas is compound 2AN8. Chemically quite similar, but AN8 only has 2 valence electrons. So will only bond with 2 other atomic numbers at the same time. Or double bond with 1 atomic number like another atomic number 8. But ozone breaks that rule. Because the ultraviolet rays from a star continually blast apart oxygen gas compounds, leaving a stray atomic number 8 to wander about and invade already happy compounds of oxygen gas. Homewreckers. But then more ultraviolet rays keep coming, which blast apart the ozone. Which means what exactly? Stop. It means that ozone works to absorb ultraviolet radiation, which damages DNA and Earth life and causes cancer. UV radiation is the kind of thing that I've been practicing the meteor syntax. The kind of thing that life do dies. Okay. So just saying a bunch of UV radiation kills people. So seems like purposeful ozone regeneration is good. Okay. Not quite Doppler. It would be dies do. Yeah. Okay. I was wondering why that sentence was confusing me a little bit. Well, on that humiliation, let's call it a night. Night. Sweet dreams. Good night, team. Okay. Good week. Good week. Interesting. Very interesting. They're doing terraforming on their own planet. I wonder if they made it hot on purpose, or if that was like a greenhouse gas thing, like Earth, you know? Like, kind of accidental. Now it's like a runaway problem. I don't know. Alright, so that was week 38, 26 transmissions. We learned 8 words. We're up to 644 total transmissions, 171 total words. We named temperature, solid, liquid, gas, before times, inside, outside, and atmosphere. I'm curious about before times. It's kind of a vague term. I wonder if they'll have any hypotheses for me on that one. And we completed heat. Ancient. That's better. Inside, outside, and planetary structure. Okay. Alan says status. Information on their atmosphere, huh? What are the aliens up to? Batista says atomic numbers and phases of matter are abstract in ways similar to human models. Parallel thinking. Carrie says, Dear Diary. Sometimes when I'm less fluent, I tend to search for intention. Here I'm still at a loss. The before times grabs my attention. Doppler said the ozone a precursor for the development of life, perhaps an indicator. And why is there so much methane? And you already know what Dr. B. Your colleagues some ideas on these signals. Okay, so temp, gas, inside, before times, outside, solid, liquid. Okay, I think we have all these correct except before times is a bit vague, but honestly, it kind of works the same as ancient. Kind of this thing. I'll check it real quick. Go further. 4 times. Really long time ago, 600 million years ago, ancient. I'll put ancient just because it's shorter than before times, but the message is still the same. They have this. I certainly consider 600 million BC to be quite ancient. Alright, so that'll do it for week 38, and then next time we'll go to week 39, and thanks for watching.